life. What you about to do? Turn on the CoverBoi Chronicles because it's the Fashion Police Review. And we are doing our Fashion Police Review of the Critics' Choice. And we always do our Fashion Police Review with the must-see looks of the night. So we'll start with Emily Blunt and Amelia Pucci. And for me, like, her dress, okay, for one, it was red. And, you know, when you wear red to a red carpet, that's kind of like one of those, does it work? Does it not work? Like, there are so many, like, different qualities that go into wearing a red dress on the red carpet. So I say she looked very stunning. I loved her, just her glow that she was having, you know, whether she won or not, you know, and she did. So, I mean, for her, whether she won or not, she was just happy to be there. She was happy to be in her moment, you know, a nominee, just looking cute for the occasion. So, kudos to her. And then we go right into our next person, which would be Amy Adams. She was wearing Max Mara, and I felt like, you know, to see her in a short dress, right, cut like right just a little bit below the knee, like, I liked it. It had a really nice flair for her. You know what I'm saying? Like, Amy's normally like one of those women that are known for wearing beautiful gowns. So I enjoyed the fact that she was in something different. And she took the different approach this time. So, next I'll be seeing her in doing something like Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer Aniston got my number 3 for the following reasons. Like, get past her side boob. Because, I mean, granted, yes, it shows age. Who cares? This is a woman who doesn't care about her, and she doesn't care. She's like, I'm whatever age I am, and I'm still a gorgeous babe. I can still pull the same people in 10 times better nowadays than I did when I was younger. So, get your life. What you about to do? Copyright. So, Rosario Dawson got my number 2 in Vivienne Westwood, and for me, I felt like that was just a great class, sophistication. Like, I loved her movie last year with it was something Chavez or something of that nature. I loved that movie with her, and it was her and Ugly Betty, America Ferrera. I love me some them. So I lived 100%, got my life and everything. So Angelina Jolie, she's my number 1. Because now here's why I'm giving her number 1, because I feel like I've got some people who are ready to disagree with me. And let me tell you why she's number 1. Because she gives me Hollywood glamour. She gives me high-class sophistication. Now, normally, every time I tell you guys what I'm looking for in my, like, at least my top 3, if not my must-see looks of the night, I'm looking for a woman who's going to give it to me. I'm looking for a woman who's going to, you know, when she steps on that red carpet, she's giving me her Hollywood glamour. She's giving me her grown, classy, sophisticated woman who's very sexy and who's basically, if I have to put it to you simply, just to put it straight and bluntly, 8-time Academy Award costume designer Edith Head said this: a woman's clothes should be loose enough to show that she's a lady, but tight enough to show that she's a woman. Okay? So, just, as long as she feels comfortable in it, it accentuates her curves, she's comfortable, she's classy, I live for it. And that's what Angelina Jolie embodied that night. And so her Versace was on point, regardless of what anybody else had to say, and she will not be getting fined for me. So another person who I felt was great, but she was only in white, and that's our next category, only in white. So, Jessica Chastain, she was wearing Antonio Biari, and I felt like, you know, just the the top part of it, I just felt like that was just so great. Like, hopefully, like beading and jeweling and on the shirts and stuff, that's probably gonna, I pray to Jesus that becomes just for a small portion of time. Don't do it forever, but like just a small portion of time. I pray that that becomes like a trend, if anything. I at least pray that it's a trend. But it's, I lived for it. I thought it was really great. Now, only in white will you see Marion Calder, and she was like the Cinderella of the night for Dior. Like, she had this big, beautiful she literally looked like Cinderella on the way to the ball. Like, white dress. I wish she had glass slippers. Like, she either had to have glass or ruby slippers, because Dorothy, she was far from Toto. She was far from Toto, and they were far out of Kansas, honey. So, yes. I lived for that dress. Absolutely fantastic. So, sheer magnifique. Now, only in white am I going to have a problem with Rosamund Pike. She was wearing Valentino, and this Valentino for her was just too safe. Like, I feel like she plays it too safe. I don't like the fact that she does that. For me, that just makes me feel uncomfortable. When you go to a red carpet, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so this red carpet, for the Critics' Choice, you were supposed to bring your A game, but, you know, don't bring like your triple A or something like that. You see what I'm saying? Don't bring too much to this. It's relaxed. It's like the Oscars and the Golden Globes and People's Choice put together. So that's kind of the best way to put it there. So that's kind of how you would want to dress for that event. So Rose, just moving forward, the next award season, the SAGs, do something different. Let me see you go for it, please. Be bold and black, like Julianne Moore and Say the Wrong. Like, I lived for that. You can't go wrong with saying the wrong in any way, shape, or form. And the way that she was rocking it, she was very bold. Now, another bold person on that red carpet was Michelle Montan Harkin. She was wearing Elie Saab, and it was like it was kind of like what Kat Dennings was wearing at the People's Choice, but it was a little bit different. It was made a lot. It was made a lot differently. You could tell, but it was cut with that idea in mind, and it was made for a woman of her stature, of course. So, we will go to the last woman of substance who just made me just look like, oh, girl, let me give you something to say. Niecy Nash, she gave me my complete life. I had to give her I gotta give her props. Whoever her designer is, whoever the person is that picked out that dress, whoever designed that dress. Like, oh my God, that, or she would have definitely been one of the best dresses of the night, must-see looks of the night. Like, I had to think long and hard about that, but I gotta go with my leading ladies, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of one of my requirements. It's on the lightweight too. Blushing Beauty is not one of those that you have to worry about, because it's Diane Kruger starting us off, Naeem Khan, and I felt like it should have been in a cultural mix, but I like the way they blended it, and it was like a nice. It didn't have beading, but it looked like it. If it had just some areas beaded, it would have been just sheer fire, sheer magnificent, and she'd have looked fantastic in it. I feel like she could have probably did just a little bit more with hair and makeup, but that's just me. So Jenny Slate, I like. Okay, so here's my idea. I like the top part, like from here up. I like. Okay, so if you know how Angelina's got that drop, that dramatic drop at the bottom of her dress, like from this point down, yes. I feel like that's what she should have had on her dress. Like, they should have extended it. Because, like, Jessica Chastain, her dress was an off the runway, right? So they extended it was like a cocktail dress, and then they extended it down to like a full length gown. So you see what I'm saying? Y'all could have did something for her. Y'all late for that. That's late. Late. Anyways, Genesis Hernandez, and she was wearing a Raheem Marcy, and I feel like her dress was like one of those sexy dresses that I say on the runways. It was very, you know, it was a sexy dress. We'll just put it like that, because I really don't want to read her. But I will say that it was a sexy dress. Don't ever wear it again. And you can do better than this. Because it really was. It wasn't. It didn't. It was about a... If I had to grade it, like I grade performances on the award shows, I would have to give her about maybe 7.5, maybe an 8. And I'm really trying to be nice. But anyways, let's go into the Dapper Dance, which I forgot to do on my my Fashion Police review of the Golden Globes. I apologize, you guys. So I'll post like the people that were my Dapper Dans of that night. But my Dapper Dans of the Critics' Choice Awards was Ethan Hawke, and he was wearing Lon Fenn. I feel like he just looks sexy. Like, that man, for him to have worked on a 12-year movie, like, he did not age at all. That is definitely a man who can reinvent sexy very well. So, Common, that's another one. But that's my favorite. Honestly, everybody always talks about who's their favorite rapper. Common's my favorite rapper. Like, I love him, and just his lyrics are always so deep. And he's such an awesome poet. You know, he's like definitely sitting there at number, like, he's sitting in the top 3. I will give him that. Common is in my top 3. So, last but not least, Jared Leto won my number 1. He has always been like one of my fashion darlings. And so I had something for him at the end of the year, but I decided not to. So, perhaps it may be something for the future of this year. So, speaking of which, you guys need to go ahead and take this Cover Lover poll. Now, a lot of people had a problem with Reese Witherspoon and what she had on. I don't necessarily feel like it was a problem. Like, it was just something just to put on, just to go to an award show. It's not like one of those major award shows where you have to get all dressed up and stuff. So, I mean, like, I wasn't really feeling too bad about what she wore. And so, now, a lot of people didn't give Keira Knightley flack about that foolishness that she decided to wear. Like, agree with me. Who do you think was right on this red carpet? Was it Reese or Keira? Okay, who was the worst and who was wrong? Who was wrong and who was right? Okay? Oh, excuse me, y'all. Tweet the show, New Cover Lovers, CoverBoi Chronicles, my Facebook, my like page, my Twitter, and my Instagram. Be sure to like, comment, and y'all know what to do. Subscribe to The Spirit Soul Star, my YouTube channel. Let me know what you guys felt about this lovely video. Alright, you guys have a good one.